Welcome to Raw Takes Unfiltered. Two voices and no filters. What is going on, Triborough? How you doing?
Salute. How you doing, bro?
Man, I am chilling and I'm looking forward to this because my list is really based off of the soundtracks that I grew up with. So, like you said earlier, soundtracks nowadays ain't even like relevant anymore. It's
No.
more of a, they just have like a song to kind of go with it.
Mhm.
But it's really not a thing anymore. But back in the days, man, like
That's
you couldn't have a movie without a soundtrack, even if the movie sucked.
facts.
So, I think the last like really good one I remember is the Black Panther
Yes, that was
soundtrack.
good.
That
Hmm.
was probably like the last soundtrack I think I really got into because it had a lot of The Weeknd.
Right.
Kendrick was doing his thing, so
Yeah.
I was kind of into that one.
Hmm.
But other than that, I like the little hat unboxing there. That was a fun little video you popped up.
Thank you.
Um, and I want to thank you all for
Appreciate that.
checking out my audition video that I did. I'm really looking forward to that movie coming out on 4K. Really excited about it. I won't be doing a review about it, but it's just exciting to see a masterpiece like that getting
Right.
redone in 4K. Um, but I want to hop right into this,
Okay.
and I want you to go first. Mine is in no particular order.
All right.
I just, as soon as I thought of them, I was just like, write it down, write it down, write it down. And I had 15 picked out, but I stuck with a core 10. So let me shout out real quick. Sam, thank you for joining us along with Draculina, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, Draculina is going to have her own podcast coming, and she will be on the show one of these days when I can get her shy ass on here. Um, but thank y'all for joining, and let's get right into it.
All right. Number. So
10.
we doing the soundtracks, right?
Yo, yeah, soundtracks, baby.
All right. Soundtracks. Number 10 is Superfly, Curtis Mayfield. Rest in peace. A
Mm.
classic soundtrack. One of my favorites of the '70s. The movie. We did a review on this a couple weeks ago with Rocker Bash and Ray Lansky and Uncle Freezy. It was great. I love the movie. The production very soulful. You know, Curtis Mayfield couldn't miss like every track on here. Give me your love and Freddie's dead, Push a Man. And he's actually in the movie performing. Curtis Mayfield is actually in the movie. There's a scene where he's actually in the movie performing, and I
Mm.
loved it. I think rest in peace to Ron O'Neal who played the OG Superfly. It was everything about this soundtrack and the movie was great. It's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, like of any decade. So that's my number 10.
Mm. That's a great, I have not seen that since I was a kid. I have
Hmm.
not seen Superfly probably in about 38, 37 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go revisit that. I'm gonna have to go revisit that soundtrack. I
Oh
forgot
yeah.
that um the Hustler song there. I'm Pusher Man.
Push a Man.
I
Yes.
forgot that was on that
Yes.
because I forgot what rapper remade it, but it was dope.
It's been sampled. I know Snoop Dogg sampled a lot. Actually on Doggy Style, on the G Funk, the on the G, I think it was the G Funk intro. He sampled that right when it
Mm.
starts off, and because he had like the Rage intro, the bathtub intro, and all that, and yeah, yeah, it's been sampled by a lot of different artists, and like I said, like every song on this soundtrack is it can't miss. It's definitely a top 5 mic classic.
Oh yeah. Mine it just one of the very crazy movies I never thought I would like, but
Mhm.
again, being over my grandmother's a lot,
Yeah.
it's gonna be Dirty Dancing.
Oh.
I
Okay.
love that soundtrack because it has a little bit of everything, I'm minus the hip hop, but I especially my favorite song on there is actually the one that is done by Patrick Swayze, which
Yeah.
is She's Like the Wind, but everybody like always attaches that to Time of My Life.
Right.
So that's like the song that everybody remembers because it's at the end and, he's doing the whole thing.
Yep.
So that's the song that everybody really remembers from there. But
Yeah.
if you go back and listen to the soundtrack on Amazon, I mean, there's a lot of bangers on there.
Yeah.
I know, Hey Baby's on there.
Yeah.
Then you got the She's Like the Wind. Again, that's my favorite joint.
Right.
You got the other one too, where they're in the actual basement, like doing the little dance. But I actually still have that somewhere on CD in my house. It's
Right.
somewhere. I still have that soundtrack. I know I do. And along with number 9 that I got too. But what is your number 9?
My number 9 is Men in Black, the Men in Black soundtrack. Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, in this classic movie. I went to see this movie when it came out, the first two
Yes.
Men in Black films. But the soundtrack in '97, and this is at a time when Will Smith had took a break from rap to do his acting. The last album he did with Jazzy Jeff was Code Red. That was like '93. He comes back with Big Willie Style. It was a great solo comeback for him, and then he has the Men in Black title track on here as well, and he has another song called Just Cruising that was released as a single. And you have artists like Alicia Keys, who was signed to So Def. She was Jermaine Dupri artist at one point before she went to J Records, and she's on this soundtrack. You have Destiny's Child, you have De La Soul, A Tribe Called Quest. Nas has a song on here called Escobar '97. He was in his Escobar era. Phenomenal. The Roots with the Hypnotic. They also had that song on Philadelphia Half-Life. And you have Snoop Dogg and Genuine. Jermaine Dupri's on this soundtrack. It's a classic soundtrack. Danny Elfman, who also did the score for this for the movie. He's on here as well. Just a 5 mic classic soundtrack, and it was definitely one of my favorites for the '90s.
Yeah, my number 9 was a favorite of the '90s too. And Men in Black is one of the very rare. I have 4 different copies of that movie: the DVD, the Blu-ray, the Steelbook, and the 4K box set.
Nice.
That is the only movie I have 4 copies of, and then Ninja Turtles, the original,
Right.
I have 3.
Okay.
I don't know why. I can't get rid of them. Mine is actually Sunset Park. Now, again, it's a movie that's very underrated. I don't think a lot of people appreciated Sunset Park. I know we did back then watching it, but when you go and watch it now, yeah, there's some corny bits. And then there's that little hint of, my man falling in love with the coach. But I think he was falling in love with her as like a mother figure because she was trying to steer Fredro in the right direction, but she couldn't. But I mean, you got some banging songs. You got Back at Me with Mobb Deep.
Yes.
So Back at You, Mobb Deep. You had Motherless Child on there.
Yep.
That was banger. You had the Onyx song, Things Changed. That one I loved. Hoop in Your Face was actually one of the very rare times before they went against each other where you had the Quad City DJs and the 69 Boys on the same song.
Yeah.
Because after a while, they started fighting on who had the better, club dance song. And one of my favorite songs on there is the Elements I'm Among, and that was by Queen Latifah. Banging song. That was when she was like still in her I'm gonna show y'all how women rap. And you also, if I'm not mistaken, you have MC Light on there too.
Light on there, yes.
And I think she's like the very next song. You got Little Kim on that joint.
Yeah.
That whole soundtrack is really blazing. And
Definitely.
I have that one somewhere around my house. But
that almost made my list too. Cause I was looking at it, I was like, all right, that might be honorable mention, but that almost made my list.
Yeah, well, one of the ones that are my honorable mentions, I think I'm going to get some slack for. But hey, salute. What up, Nash?
Yeah. What up, John Doe? Salute.
Yo, John. What's up? Sam, we were just talking about this last week, me and Triber, when we were on the phone, and we just feel like that movie does not get any kind of love when they talk about hood movies. And I told him that's the first time I discovered Terrence Howard.
Right.
I
Yeah.
didn't even really know. Like I remember seeing his face, and uh, undercover,
Yeah. Yep. Undercover.
and what, yeah,
Hmm.
and then seeing him in like little spots and TV shows, but I never
Right.
connected that he was Spaceman.
Yep.
So I think that's a movie we're going to touch on one of these episodes, like some real underground, forgotten hood
Right.
classics right there.
Right.
Number 8, try what you got.
Number 8, I got Who's the Man? The Who's the Man soundtrack.
Oh, I
Ed Lover.
forgot about that
Yes.
movie.
Ed Lover and Dr. Dre from Young TV Raps.
They play the
Yeah.
cops.
Play the cops.
Yes.
We had a lot of different cameos from hip hop artists that some are still alive, some are no longer alive. We had the Guru, rest in peace. He was in this movie. Cypress Hill, Salt and Pepper. Heavy D, rest in peace. He was in this film. There's a lot of different hip hop cameos, and the soundtrack was great. It came out on Uptown MCA Records, 1993. You had Heavy D and the Boys with Who's the Man, and Who's the Man joint on here. You had House of Pain was on this soundtrack. Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Biggie, Party and Bullshit. That was the first time that I heard Biggie.
That was the first time I heard Party and Bullshit.
Party and Bullshit. You had Father MC, Buju Banton on this soundtrack. Jodeci, Let's Go Through the Motions. That was a single as well. Eric Sermon hitting switches. That was the first time that Eric Sermon, after the Hit Squad breakup and EPMD breaks up, he went solo, and that was like his first record on this soundtrack, hitting switches, and just a great soundtrack. From to bottom. Rest in peace to Andre Harrell. A classic soundtrack. The movie, that's a different story. I liked it for the time, but I just felt like it wasn't like a strong storyline. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of goofiness going on in that movie too. But the soundtrack was Find My Classic. Definitely love the soundtrack. And like this was great. This is another soundtrack that doesn't get mentioned a lot when it comes to especially when it comes to hip hop soundtracks. And I feel like I got to put this on the list. So it's Who's the Man in 1993.
Yes, and recently I had watched The Disorderlies, which was another
I remember seeing that,
and it just doesn't hit the same.
Right.
It's weird because I remember being like, even in my early teens watching that, just remembering it being hysterical. So now I'm kind of scared to go back and watch Who's the Man because I'm thinking in my head, like, I might not see it the same. And I really despise that kind of thing because then you're like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. They need a 4K for Disorderlies too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I watched it, it just didn't hit the same for me. Right. Yes, it was funny because Fat Boys was a really big part of hip hop. Everybody talks about how Biggie brought Biggie and Heavy D brought like the big guys in that fashion. But if you go back, Fat Boys was doing that too.
Yes.
And they don't get mentioned because Heavy D was more the pretty boy,
right?
Rapper. Whereas, Fat Boys are still in that ghetto zone. So I think they don't get recognized for.
I want to make a correction. Heavy D's on the soundtrack with Buju Banton is called Hotness. That's the collab. It's not Who's the Man. He had a song called Who's the Man, and it came out the same year, but it's not on the soundtrack. That's on the Blue Funk album. But he is on the soundtrack with Buju Banton.
Gotcha. All right, my number 8 might surprise y'all, but Footloose. I think that when I remember being a kid, the first song I heard off of there, my mom used to play it all the time, was Dancing in the Sheets.
Yeah.
And I never knew that it was connected to Footloose because I haven't even seen the movie at that point. Everybody always connects the song Footloose. So that's the only song that they really think about. But for me, Dancing in the Sheets was the one that caught me. And years later, when I watched the movie, I discovered, oh shit, wait, that's from that. So, but you also got Holding Out for a Hero, which has been used in Short Circuit 2.
Yeah.
I mean, all sorts of movies. And a lot of these songs that were in a lot of these albums that we're talking about is still used today in a lot of movies, which is crazy. Another song that's here for the boys. My mom used to play that.
That one I know. I heard that one first, and then the Kenny Loggins one.
Yes. But That one, and then the Suicide Eyes. I like that one. You know what I
Okay.
mean? That was like my joint. But I think that that soundtrack was very solid.
Right.
And for being the type of movie that it was, almost like a flash dance,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like
Right.
to me, like flash dance only had that one good song. I wasn't really feeling the rest.
Right.
And that was Maniac. And I think
Yeah. Maniac was
I
my joint.
forgot the name of the band, but I mean they killed
That
that
was
song.
Michael Sembello, I think his name was.
I don't remember who did it, but to me, like, cause that I thought of that soundtrack as well, and I threw it on my list. But then I was
Right.
like, let me go back and see what other songs were on there. And to me, there really just wasn't anything that I wanted to be like, all right, let me put
Right.
it on the list. So,
No.
but Footloose, man, it's classic. It's
Yeah.
classic to me.
Definitely.
Number 7, try what you
Number
got.
7 is New Jack City. New Jack City. The movie with
Ice
the
T. Oh my God.
Ice T and Nino Brown, Wesley Snipes. You had Mario Van Peebles. You had Judd Nelson. So many other great cast of characters, and I remember going to see the movie for my birthday that year when I came out. That was like an annual thing. Like I would go to the movie theater. Like if it was a good movie around my birthday time, I would go to the movie theater. I've seen a lot of films that came out around my birthday time. House Party was another one of those. But New Jack City was great. I think that was like one of the best Wesley Snipes films of all time. He should have got an Oscar or at least a nomination for that for what he did as Nino Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And the soundtrack was phenomenal. You had Color Me Bad, but I Want to Sex You Up. That song premiered
Yes.
on the soundtrack, and then later on they came out with their debut album. You had Living for the City with Troop and Queen Latifah, Levert. Um, you had Keith Sweater's on the soundtrack. He's also have a cameo in the movie. You had Guy on the soundtrack. You had Ice T with New Jack Hustler. That was a huge song for New York radio because we didn't play Ice T over here, and
Yeah.
that when that song came out, like New York radio actually played it. It was just great, just a great soundtrack. A lot of different artists from R&B and hip hop. And like I said, like the movie was classic. Like that's one of my favorite films of all time. Especially
Mm-hmm.
for black cinema. And
Yes.
yeah, just a great New Jack Swing sounding soundtrack as well.
Yes, and there was rumors that they were trying to remake that movie,
No,
and
don't
they
do
had like a online poll, and like everybody was like, "No, there's certain movies you just can't
yeah,
touch."
no.
Same with they wanted to remake Scarface, and they were gonna have Leonardo
See, I,
playing
I go
Scar.
I go back to the 2000s when they wanted Cuban Link to play Tony's son.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah,
Now, no, like just leave it, man.
yeah,
Just leave it alone.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just one of those. For me, number 7 is it's not going to be a surprise, and you can literally pick a song off this soundtrack.
Mhm.
Purple Rain.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure,
mean,
sure.
I'm pretty sure you got Purple Rain on yours too,
Yeah, it's somewhere there.
because it's just so timeless. For me, my favorite song was "When Doves Cry."
Mhm.
It has been done. It has been redone a lot of times. It was in the
Right.
Romeo and Juliet,
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio movie,
Oh yeah.
with that guy. I don't remember that guy's name, the kid that sang it, but he had a beautiful voice, but still
Right.
not compared to Prince. I
No.
mean, I feel like Prince is one of those guys where it's hard to remake anything that man has done. But literally, you could pick a song from Purple Rain and just play
Facts.
from start to finish. There's not one bad song on there, and the Times tore it down too. So, I
Definitely.
mean, there's really no arguing that one. I think that's one of the ones that the old heads would appreciate
Definitely.
because it was classic. You
Yeah.
gotta bathe yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you got for number 6?
Number 6. Speaking of old heads, I think the old heads are going to definitely appreciate this one. I got Shaft, the OG,
You're damn right.
Isaac Hayes, Richard Roundtree. Come on, he's a bad mother. You know the rest.
Shut your mouth.
Classic soundtrack. Rest in peace to Isaac Hayes. He gave us a lot of great classic albums, and he's done other soundtracks as well. He has a soundtrack for the movie Tough Guys. That was also a classic. And I just loved it. Just growing up watching the OG movie on TV, and hearing the music, and it's been sampled by a lot of artists. Jay-Z, for one, sampled this on Reservoir Dogs. That was
Hmm.
produced by Eric Sermon from Volume 2. That was sampled from this album. And the Shaft theme song is one of the best themes of all time. You know what I'm saying? And I love the movie. I love the soundtrack. Even the remake with Samuel Jackson was pretty good. I enjoyed that
Yeah,
one too.
I didn't mind that one. I think they took more of a comedic relief on
Yeah.
that one, but it was
Hmm.
still good. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson did his thing as Shaft.
Yes. Definitely. Definitely. So
He
that
definitely did.
that
Uh,
definitely, again, this is another one that it doesn't get mentioned when we come to soundtracks. And I'm like, I gotta include some of the 70s classics too. So we got Shaft and we got Superfly on the list.
yes, sir. Todd, that almost made my list as well. Beverly Hills Cop, unfortunately for me, it's only the one song that's iconic on it, and that's the doom 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 doom, and
You
that's
don't like Neutron Dance from Pointer Sisters and the Peddler Bill joint?
nope.
Ah man, those were fire.
Nope. I mean, they could be fire all they want, but for
Mhm.
me, it just wasn't. It just didn't hit. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So,
Okay.
but yes, Sam. Just his voice was so iconic. Back then, Teddy, Luther, Isaac. These are
Yeah.
voices that you knew instantly. They could be on with the Isley brothers, and you could still pick
Yeah.
out. Oh, that's
Right.
this guy. That's this guy. You know what I mean? Like some people just have iconic voices that just can't
Hmm.
be replicated or mistaken for or any of that. Um,
Right.
so just a dope one. Number six is actually a hip hop one for me as
All
well.
right.
Um, Jay Z probably being the favorite track on there, but I'm Jay Z biased, so
Mhm.
screw
Okay.
y'all. 8 Mile.
Oh
I
yeah.
8 Mile had one of the
That was
best far as movie and for that whole decade.
hmm
It just had that dope feeling. Everybody was on that.
facts.
Um, 50, D12, Eminem himself, that came from Lose Yourself.
Yes.
The track with Jay-Z and Freeway, 8 Miles and Running, like
Yeah.
that, it it's just to me it's one of those ones. Even Rabbit Run, I know a lot of people
That was
were,
good.
yeah, and a lot of people didn't like it because they were like, oh, he's trying to be the character in the movie, but that was, based upon his real life.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, I loved it, but 8 Mile definitely, I know that would probably be on everybody's as far as hip hop
Right. Yeah.
albums go, you know. So
There's also there's a unit freestyle to the Run Rabbit Run beat. I heard that like back in the day.
really, I didn't hear
Yeah,
that
it's with 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks. I think Yayo is on that, but I know 50% and Lloyd Banks is on that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists that he had on there, and I thoroughly
Mm-hmm.
appreciated that album. I was bumping that all around, especially with
Definitely.
Lose Yourself, man. I just
Yes.
thought there was so much emotion in
Mm-hmm.
that song that really came out. And that was the end we love,
Yeah.
so it hit different.
Yeah.
Number five, what you
Top
got?
five. The top five. I got
Mhm.
Winning Take Sale,
Mm,
all produced by
I still have that
Babyface.
CD too.
One of the best soundtracks all time. Babyface, one of the best producers of all time, and he took all female artists in R&B and made a classic soundtrack, starting with Whitney Houston with the Shoop Exhale song. That was the first single. We had Brandy Sitting Up in My Room. You had TLC This Is How It Works. Mary J. Blige Not Gonna Cry. Classic, one of the best Mary J. Blige ballads ever, in my
Yes,
opinion.
yes.
You had Shantae Moore on the soundtrack, Faith Evans, Tony Braxton, just a all around classic. This type of soundtrack will never be done ever again. I
No,
really because of, like the R&B back then, you had talented female singers compared to now. Like there's a couple now that I like, but I don't think it's enough to make a full soundtrack like this again. And this is like once in a lifetime. And the movie was great. Rest in peace to Whitney Houston. You had Angela Bassett in the film and Loretta Devine, and just a classic movie as well.
yes. I mean, who doesn't who doesn't love that one?
Yeah.
And that was one of the ones that I had picked out as well. And then I ended up putting it back because I started going through so many different. And I said, you know what? I think Try's going to mention this one,
Yes.
so I'm gonna leave this one out.
No.
You know, I knew like Purple Rain was probably going to
Yeah.
be
Oh yeah.
the
For sure.
same, or you
For sure.
know, but the other ones I was like, all right. But my number 5
Mhm.
is "Don't Be a Menace to South Central" by
Mm.
Drinking Your Juice in the Hood.
Nice. Nice one.
So for me, I think the most iconic song is probably Winter Wars
Yeah.
because everybody was all up on that, and Renee.
Renee. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Don't Be a Menace dropped right before the Lost Boys album
Yeah.
when for illegal drug money. So they
Mhm.
agreed that they would use it for the soundtrack and they could have it on their album as well,
Right.
because that single is, I think, is what really blew up Lost Boys, aside from Lex Coops, Beamers, and Benz.
Facts.
You also have Funky Sounds on there. I did
Yeah.
like that one. And
Mhm.
the Eric Sermon joint, Maintain.
Yes.
That,
Oh, yeah.
so if you guys don't know that song, but you know the movie, when he's pretending to cook up the crack,
Yeah.
he actually makes the cake. The
Mhm.
song that is playing while he's doing that and stirring the water, you know, and like licking his fingers, that's the Eric Sermon song in there. And I think that's one of the better songs
Right.
on there. But that whole crush, I'm coming through with the bomb rush. I mean, I was wilding when that came out. You know, I'm about to do all top C's on these MCs. Like Eric Sermon is just so underrated. You know, I never hear anybody mention him in the top 10, top
He has to
20.
be top 10 producer all time for sure.
Yes, man, and he's so multi-talented.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So one of the very few people that remade Rapper's Delight, and I happen to like it. I know you don't, but it's not your choice. But
It's okay.
I know, but I like it,
Mm.
and the soundtrack. Unfortunately, like there's only like a couple of songs that you can actually listen to on Amazon Music. The
Yeah.
only way to get the whole thing is on like
Mhm.
buying it on CD on Amazon,
Right.
which CDs are making a comeback. I'm kind of glad of that. Vinyl has been making a strong comeback, so
Mhm.
but definitely a dope.
And you also had Mobb Deep with Up No Trip. They on that.
Yes,
That's on the Infamous album. You had Mona Lisa and Mr. Cheeks.
and I also think that wasn't that the one that had that wasn't the one that had the Get Uptown Anthem with Naughty by Nature?
Nah, that was Juice. That was Juice.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. All right. My bad. There you go. See, that's why I'm glad I have you. Number 4, what you got?
Before I got the Bee Gees, Saturday Night Fever.
Ooh.
Like classic disco. This album really, Bee Gees was putting out music before then, but this album really catapulted them to superstardom with the disco stuff, and you know, you had the two biggest songs right here, Staying Alive and Night Fever. You know, you had the Tramps on here with Disco Inferno. You had the Kool and the Gang with Open Sesame. You know, How Deep Is Your Love, another Bee Gees classic.
Yes.
You Should Be Dancing, another Bee Gees classic. Like this is what really started their run. And then you had albums like Spirits Haven't Flown and Children of the World, two underrated Bee Gees albums that I love. You know, rest in peace to Robin Gibb and Maurice Gibb and Andy Gibb, who was their brother. Andy joined the group later on. And Barry Gibb is like the only surviving member right now of the Bee Gees. So salute to him. And this is a classic disco soundtrack as well. Love the movie with John Travolta. Classic.
I'm waiting if my boy's still watching. I know he's gonna make fun of me, and I'm gonna I probably shouldn't even say it, but all right, so when that soundtrack came out, so Staying Alive, for some reason, and it took my buddy, for me singing this song for 30 years, I always said, stay in the light. And I don't know why. That's just always what I heard in my head. And I've always sang it like that, stay in the light. And I remember I was like, I had it on and I'm singing it, and my boy's like, that's not the lyrics. And I'm like, what?
Right.
And he corrected me. So I was kind of waiting for him to be in the comments
Mm.
and just type in "stay in the light" just to make fun of me.
And
But
Wyclef Jean, for his first solo album, The Carnival, he sampled "Staying Alive" for "We're Trying to Stay Alive" for that classic debut solo album.
Number 4 shouldn't be it's not going to be a surprise to anybody, and I don't think number 1 is going to be a surprise to anybody. Streets is Watching soundtrack.
Ooh, okay.
Absolutely amazing, front to back, back to front. I think the only thing I didn't like about it was there wasn't enough Sauce Money. I think that Sauce should have had his own solo on there, but I mean, MOP,
Yeah.
Hilltop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was dope. The way that they remade Computer Love with Bring Back Your Love, Jay-Z tore that, and what was it, Christian?
Christian, yeah.
Yeah, Christian, ripped it, killed it. And I really like that one. Only a Customer, where he took the LL sample and flipped that.
Yep.
Then you had the It's All Right. You heard? It's All Right. Holla Back. And then it ended up being on volume 2 because he felt like those were going to be. You had the Nori joint on there with DJ Clue.
Yeah.
Thugs R Us. I love that one. That was back when Nori was going solo because Capone was in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had to go solo on that. And then you have Celebration on there with Pain in the Ass doing the intro from Carlito's Way.
Yep.
And he did the whole intro perfect. And then everybody just tore it up. There's like not a whack verse on there, even though I wasn't really a big fan of who was it? Waze, whatever is.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the only one that I didn't really feel too much, but I think Bleep did his thing.
Yeah.
Cost Money definitely did his thing. Jay did his thing. So
and
great.
What's crazy is the songs on that official soundtrack for the movie. There's no videos for, but he did he did videos from volume 1 for the movie.
Yeah.
Right. So when you look at the movie, there's a mini film that came out. When you look at the film, he has videos for Friend or Foe. He has videos for Face Off and for You Must Love Me. Streets is Watching, and they played these on the radios like it was a single. But there's no videos for the actual soundtrack. I don't understand that.
And in the movie, there's only 2 songs that they use from the actual soundtrack, which is the joint with that Rel did.
Yeah.
When they're doing the scene in the hotel setting up the homeboy.
Yeah.
And then they did Hill Figure. When dude's coming off the highway, he gives the phone call, yo, they back. You hear, we happen to be Young Fly. That was my shit. Yeah. And let's not forget, one of the best track on there, my bad, I forgot about Murdergram.
Murdergram was fire, yeah.
Oh my God, especially the extended version.
Yes.
They have the short version on the soundtrack, but when you add those extra 8 bars onto each rapper, instead of the 16 that they put on the album, it makes the song even better because X really goes off.
Yeah.
X killed that song. I love Jay. You know that, but X killed that, just the opening line.
Yeah.
Like that's it. If I get burnt, I'm giving that shit to 30 bitches. Like you can't. Come on, that was my joint.
Right.
Anyways, man, I'm sorry, man. Just what you got for number 3?
Number 3, I got Menace to Society, classic soundtrack. Now this one had more of a West Coast sound.
Yes.
Because you have MC8 on there with Straight Up Menace. I love that song. You have Too Short on here. The Trigger Got No Heart by Spice One. You have some East Coast artists. You have P Rock and CeeLo Smooth before they broke up. You have Brand New being on here. But it was more West Coast sounding. But I loved it. Like it's a phenomenal soundtrack. The movie was great with Tyron Turner and Jada Pinkett. Just a phenomenal hood classic. And yeah, like again, like a lot, New York radio wasn't playing a lot of these West Coast artists, so there were certain songs like Straight Up Menace that they had to play because it was on the charts. We saw the video every day, and that's one of my favorite MC8 songs of all time. So, I
Mm.
love the piano loop on that. The Trigger Got No Heart by Spice One, another great underrated song by Spice One. Too Short as well, his contribution to the soundtrack. So it was a great soundtrack. You had the Lynch Mob Money as well, and yeah, like a great hood soundtrack and hood movie was. They both 5 month classics to me.
Mhm. Yes, Kenny say he loves that.
Yes,
He
it was good.
love that soundtrack. It really was big in the DC. For me, now this is a slept on one, and I bet this is probably never going to make anybody's list, but I pretty much loved almost every song on here, and
Mm.
that's Space Jam.
Oh, that's a good one.
Space
Yeah,
Jam has some bangers. Not
yeah.
only that, but to find out that my favorite artist wrote the Bugs Bunny song, "You're
Mm.
Bugging," that
Crazy.
that blew me away. Like I
Mhm.
didn't even know that because I never actually looked at the credits for that.
Right.
So I didn't know, but like Fly Like an Eagle, that
Yes.
song was fire.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
not forget the Mon Squad
The Monster Squad.
theme song.
Monstars. The Monstars.
Yo, that shit went hard. Busta
Mm-hmm.
Rhymes,
Yep.
LL, Coolio,
Mhm.
even Be
Be
Real did it.
real.
I mean,
Yep.
he set the track off. I'm headed
Yep.
straight to the whole.
Mm-hmm.
That shit had me.
Trackmasters.
And then back when Changing Faces was actually
Mm-hmm.
a thing, they had that song with Jay-Z.
Yep.
All of my
Yeah.
days.
That's on their second album.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were. I don't know what happened to that group.
They broke up. Well, I mean, they're still together. They're still together because they recently did the Cadillac, that Cadillac podcast with like they singing in the Cadillac with the dude like dude driving through the streets. Like they have like one of the original members, and then there's like a new member in the group. So they still around, but they're just not putting on no new music.
Pump Up the Jam. Pump
Yes.
Up the Jam. That
Classic,
was
classic.
dope. And then
Yeah.
what was the other one? Hoop all in your face.
Yes.
Hoop all
I
in your
remember
face.
that one.
Like all the songs on there were banging. I even think they had All for One on there.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the
I
song,
forgot
but
to name that song. Yeah.
I know they had All for One on there because All for One was popping at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that soundtrack, if you go back and look at it, it was everybody who was really popular at that particular time.
Right.
And most of those names that are in that soundtrack are barely like they might still be around, but they ain't doing much. Like,
and I know people gonna hate it, but we gotta mention I Believe I Can Fly. That was the biggest.
Oh yeah, no. I Believe I Can Fly.
Shit off of that soundtrack.
And that's still one that I have no shame in R. Kelly. Like again, I separate whatever they do in their personal time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my concern, and nobody would even care if he wasn't famous.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. To me, if you make great music, you make great music. Imagine if they said to us, you can't watch any Harvey Weinstein movie ever because of what he did. Right. You might as well shut down 40% of films. Mm-hmm. Almost every Quentin Tarantino film was a Weinstein film. So, and that's my favorite director. I ain't never letting him go.
Right.
So, unfortunately, I've always separated the artists. If they do phenomenal work, acting, singing, whatever, I separate it. If they go to jail for some dumb shit or whatever they did, see you later.
I want to ask you before we get to the last two. Have you seen the second Space Jam film with LeBron James?
Yes.
What did you think about it?
Unfortunately, I thought that shit was trash. Look, again, touching, it didn't need to be touched. Okay. It already has a lot of flaws. When you go back and watch it now, it does have its flaws. You know what I mean? It's older. It was when the whole, animation and in real life are kind of coming together. The backstory on it is really cool, but I literally, like when I watched that movie, the first 15 minutes, I'm fast forwarding. I just get right when we go into Toontown, let's go. And that's it. And I'll watch the rest from there. And then as soon as Toontown is done and he gets back home, it's cutting off. I'm done. But part 2 is Trizash
Right.
on the spot. I mean, that's it. What do you have for your number 2?
Number 2, I got Juice, the Juice soundtrack.
That almost made my list.
Tupac Shakur. Tupac as Bishop. Again, like the way I felt about Wesley Snipes playing Nino Brown should have got an Oscar. I feel like Tupac should have got an Oscar for Bishop. You had Omar Epps as Q. You had Khalil Kane as what's the name again?
It's probably on.
Raheem, not Raheem. Was it Raheem? It was Raheem.
Yeah, Raheem. Raheem's the one that was like trying to get the gun back.
Jermaine Hopkins is Steel. This is a cultural classic. It's been mentioned in songs. You know, you have a song by Conway called "When Bishop Shot Steel." That was a classic. You know, I love the film. They filmed it in Harlem. You know, this is Tupac in his Digital Underground / you know, Tupacalypse Now era. You know, it was great. Again, this is like a soundtrack like New Jack City, where it was half. You had some hip hop artists, you had some R&B artists on here. Aaron Hall, he's on here with "Don't Be Afraid." You have Big Daddy Kane with "Enough Respect." You have, of course, Naughty by Nature with "Uptown Anthem," classic song that was one of the singles in the movie. Starts off the soundtrack. You know, of course, you got "Know the Ledge," Eric B. and Rakim. Right before they break up, they dropped a classic song. Cypress Hill on here, Salt and Pepper. Too Short again. It's just a phenomenal soundtrack, and I loved the mix of, you know, the West Coast artists, the East Coast artists, and this was on MCA, another MCA soundtrack, just like Who's the Man. You know, MCA was doing the classic '90s soundtracks as well. You know, and I loved it. You know, definitely the movie is classic. The soundtrack is classic.
That was actually my honorable mention. So
okay.
I agree with you, because I like I said, I love that that joint with Naughty by Nature.
Yes, Uptown Anthem.
Yes, that was my joint when that came out. The Tupac joint. I mean, everything on there was great. It wasn't something that I listened to over and over and over like I have these ones. Especially my number 2.
And you know what's crazy? Tupac he's like maybe the biggest star of the film. He's not on the soundtrack though. He's in the video for Uptown Anthem. He's in the video because him and Tretch were best friends. When Pac had passed away, they actually did Naughty by Nature did a tribute song for him. But he's nowhere on the soundtrack, which is crazy because all his other films, he's on the soundtrack. He's on the soundtrack, Gang Related and Gridlocked.
So I must have been thinking. I thought he was on the soundtrack.
No, he's not on the soundtrack. He should have had a song on the soundtrack, but for whatever reason, he's not on there. Also, when you look at this, is the OG cover. When you see the OG cover with him holding the gun, they actually took that off. So, if you have the soundtrack now and he's not holding the gun, that's the reissue. The OG copy has him holding the gun, and he took it off of the movie posters also, because like they get, the kids were going to see it, so they actually took that image off of the posters and the soundtrack.
Which is the whole basis of the movie.
Right.
You know, I mean, even Conway did a song with it. I already got the gun. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
He wanted power. He wanted respect from the streets and them getting, punked by Rodderman and his crew. That's why he wanted the gun. Give me the gun. I'm going to hold the gun.
Yep. I got it now. Right. So.
Why you got to hold the gun? Because I got it.
Yeah. You know, take it. Yeah. Yes. My number 2 is something that I grew up on since I was in diapers. I'll never let it go. And that is Grease.
Oh, yeah.
Grease.
You were telling me about that too.
Yes. I absolutely pick a song. I mean, I will listen to them all. I know them all word for word. Yeah. Unfortunately, after a certain point, then it turns into like a cover band that does the rest of the songs.
Right.
But I mean, Sandra D, you got Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sing all those songs. I know the movie by heart.
Mhm.
It is insane how many times I have watched that movie. I've got the steelbook sleeve with the grease locker.
Wow.
Like something about that movie made me fall in love with cinema.
Right.
Period. I had said that a long time ago when I was on KB's channel doing a interview with him, and he asked me what was the film that got you into cinema.
Right.
Grease is the one. I
Mhm.
thought everything was just stunning. There was always something on the screen that I wanted to follow,
Right.
whether it was Rizzo or the T-Birds or
Mhm.
seeing the car or watching the race. It was just something about that movie that made me fall in love with what cinematography, what things should look like in a movie. Loved it ever since. And
Right.
Grease is probably one of the better ones out of all those movies from back then. I would take Grease and just ride with it. I love it.
I want to respond to Kenny Mac. Kenny Mac, Bomb Squad only did 3 songs on the soundtrack. They didn't do the whole Juice soundtrack. They did Big Daddy Kane, Enough Respect. They did Don't Be Afraid, Aaron Hall, and they did Son of Berserk. They only did 3 songs. Everybody else had their in-house producer. Naughty had KG. Cyber Soul had DJ Muggs. Salt and Pepper had Herbie Lovebug. That's wrong. They only did 3 songs on the soundtrack.
Mm. Yeah, Kenny. Unfortunately, I didn't watch Star Wars until later on, but Grease, because again, I was at my grandmother's a lot. My mom liked to party, so I was at
Mhm.
my grandmother's a lot,
Right.
and Grease was her shit.
Mhm.
Saturday Night Fever was her shit. I
Mhm.
mean, all those old classic. And then my Spanish grandfather that she was married to, he loved westerns. I don't know why. And
My
to
mom
this
like
day, I'm still not a big fan.
same.
Because unfortunately back then movie pacing was
Mhm.
so different
Mhm.
from what it is now. Like now, when you watch the remake of like 310 to Yuma with
Classic.
all the yes, great because
Mhm.
now the pacing of the movie keeps you interested. Christian Bale doing, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's keeping you interested in that movie.
Mhm.
Whereas the original, you've got like 40 minutes of the movie is just somebody riding a horse. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Mhm.
And like the Wild Bunch, I watched the Wild Bunch and I still own it. I think it's a great film,
Right.
but there's literally like 35 minutes of that film that I could just take out because all it is riding a horse and a little bit of dialogue.
Right. Facts.
So for me, Westerns have always been like that one movie genre that I've never really
Yeah.
got into unless it was
Same.
something new.
Right.
Like what was that one on Netflix that Jay-Z promoted and produced?
The hardest they
The
come or something like
hardest,
that.
yes, the hardest,
Yeah.
the way to kill or something like that. To
Yeah.
me, that's the westerns I like. The new,
Mhm.
modern, better pacing.
Mhm.
Back then, it was just way too hard. It
Right.
was way too hard for me to stay concentrated on it. But
Mhm.
Grease and Saturday Night Fever
Mhm.
and all them old movies, like for some reason, I could just stay focused on them.
Facts.
And my honorable mention was Juice.
Mhm.
Do you have an honorable mention before you hit your number one?
I got Sunset Park. Sunset Park is
Oh,
my honorable mention. Like I said, like I love the film, Federal Star and Rhea Perlman and the soundtrack was great. We had Queen Latifah on here and Junior Mafia, Mobb Deep, MC Light, and just a lot of great artists on here on this soundtrack.
yes. Darren, all day long. I will Grease again. It made me fall in love with cinema. It made me fall in love with film. I remember when I was a kid crying because I knew the ending before I actually figured out. Like, I still think the fan theories are real because I've always had that theory that
Yeah.
she was dead. Sandy was dead. That's always been like, so when they flew
But,
off, he took his own life to be with her and
right.
they flew off.
Well,
That's
what
the
did
way
you
I've
have
always
you
looked at it.
seen Grease 2? What did you think about the sequel?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Ain't nothing to say. But Blues Brothers, again, my grandmother watched that a lot, and I do enjoy that film.
Yeah,
But
that
if
was
I had to make a choice, I am taking Grease all day.
Did
And,
you like Blues Brothers 2000?
no,
Okay.
no, I love the original.
Yeah.
Um, in my opinion, classic.
Hmm.
Um, Kenny, again, some westerns I can do,
Right.
but
Same.
a majority of them, and I mean like 70% of them, the pacing is just so bad, and that I can't get with it. I can't stay with it.
Right.
Um, yeah, remakes and sequels are never good as the
It's hard.
original.
It's hard to do a great sequel.
It is very hard. I mean, there are like when they like remakes, there are some that I think are better than the original.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But as far as like sequels, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, look at Coming to America. That shit was
Yeah.
horrible.
Now see, I thought that was cool, but I think um Leslie Johnson is her name. She
Mm.
was funny, and there was somebody else that was it Tracy Morgan? I think he was in there. They were funny, but it wasn't Eddie. Eddie wasn't funny in that sequel. And then they kill off the father. Like how you kill the father off?
I don't know. I didn't even make it that.
Yeah.
I didn't see the ending. I didn't make it that far. I couldn't, man.
He got killed early. He didn't even get killed at the end. He got killed early in the film. They killed him.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
then that's how much of the film I
Probably
watched.
make was terrible, but I knew that was gonna be bad anyway.
Yeah, just like I knew Space Jam
Yeah.
2 was going to be
And the
bad.
soundtrack, they have Future on the soundtrack. Like what?
Yeah.
How do you have Future on Superfly?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. And it was Rick Ross's house.
Yeah.
Which,
Right.
he bragged about that for fucking 2.5 years. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
using my crib. Yeah, because you need the money because it's expensive to
Yeah.
keep that crib.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congratulations. They use your movie in a film.
Yeah. And he has a huge car show every year from his house.
Yeah.
So he needing the money for the car show too.
Yeah. Yeah. He charges money for that shit. So,
Yeah.
What is your number one?
Number one, this artist. This was my introduction to this artist in 1984. Prince, Purple Rain. A phenomenal, not only a soundtrack, but this is like his breakthrough album to the rest of the world. Like, and, that was before this. I didn't know who Prince was, and had to go back and listen to like Little Red Corvette in 1999, and I Want to Be a Lover. But this was my introduction to Prince. I saw the movie at a young age when I probably shouldn't have been watching it, but I remember my mom getting this on VHS, and I watched it, and I fell in love with Apollonia. And the time was in that room, and just a great soundtrack from top to bottom. Let's Go Crazy. Let's Get Crazy was my joint. That was the first single from the album. You had Take Me With You with him and Apollonia. The title track, one of the best Prince ballads all time. He actually did that at the Super Bowl, and it was raining when he did Purple Rain. It couldn't get, like, the timing was just great for him doing that at the Super Bowl. You had Darling Nikki, When Doves Cry, one of my favorites. Just for 9 tracks, this was a phenomenal 9-track soundtrack. I don't think there's no artist right now that could do a classic 9-track soundtrack right now. I think he pulled it off.
No. And again, like you were saying earlier, that soundtracks ain't even relevant anymore. It's just like, and people don't even buy like albums that just have like strictly, scores on them, like for me, like, like the Goofy movie was, when I was a kid, it was a great soundtrack, but most of it is just like the scores. But it was so fun, kind of like Little Mermaid and Oliver and Company. When all those soundtracks were coming out, there was a couple of songs, and then you had the scores afterward. And, I loved them, especially Oliver and Company. That's still to this day my favorite Disney film ever.
That was a good one.
Ever.
Yeah.
So, Prince definitely was the man. Maybe I'm like, and I used to always say that to myself too, because my mom, I felt like, was never satisfied either. But it's just great. And again, Romeo and Juliet, That kid did a beautiful cover, but it's just not Prince.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's hard to take a legend like that and actually try to replicate what he does.
Right.
You know, it's like Michael Jackson. You know, I'll still listen to the original Dirty Diana before The Weeknd, but The Weeknd did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he put his own twist on it. Same with Beat It and I forgot the rock group that redid it. Oh, Fall Out Boys.
Yes.
They did a great job as far as a rock version goes, but I'm always going to go back to the original.
And Alien Ant Form, they did over Smooth Criminal.
Yes. Yep.
That was a good one too.
Yep. That was a good one too. And like I said, it's very hard, but they took it and made their own of it. And that's what I like. I don't want somebody to try to replicate exactly what it was, because it's going to end up like the movie Psycho with my man Vince Vaughn. The man made it literally almost shot for shot, dialogue for dialogue. And it was terrible. We didn't need it. You know what I mean? So at least they put their own twist on it, and I appreciate that.
Facts.
All right, my number one shouldn't be no surprise to anybody. I absolutely love this documentary, which still classifies as a movie, but that's going to be Backstage.
Ooh, yes.
Backstage had just some of the, who did you expect? Locked. Fire song. The beat is so weird for them, and they still tore it up.
Right.
The intro was classic, you know, DJ Clue. Not enough people give DJ Clue his dues. You know what I'm saying? It's always DJ Drama or something. DJ Clue really set the foundation of this shit too, and a lot of people forget about him.
Yeah.
In the Club, Beanie Siegel. That beat was just sick. Beanie Siegel was on his shit at that time. Just it's a crazy soundtrack. Keep It Thorough was on there.
Yes.
Before Mob Deep, before Prodigy's album dropped, that was on there. Keep It Thorough.
And that ironic how Prodigy's on there, and he had beef later with Prodigy.
Yeah. My Mind Right was on there, where Bleak originally went at Nas.
Yep.
That mistake.
That's what anybody going to Nas is a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, and I get it, but you also had Hot Boys on there with Millionaire. That was when Hot Boys was coming up, and they were on fire.
Yeah.
Because they have later on after Backstage, like a year later, they have Baller Blocking. That was another good soundtrack, but didn't make my list because it was just a little bit too much Cash Money.
Right.
But I understand why. You have Road Dogs on there with the Brat.
Yes.
And Emile before she got dropped.
And I was on a Mills album also, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yep. That one. There's just so many dope songs on that on Backstage. Best of Me Too. Even though it's fire, but I still prefer the Jada Kiss version.
Okay.
But Jay did his thing, and I appreciate all what he did on it. But I think Jada Kiss had the better version because he was a little bit more laid back, whereas Jay was a little bit more aggressive. And I don't think that's what the song was really going for. Jada, I think, really killed it.
But see, they remember Maya in the drop top Impala with the Carolina blue on, and
I don't blue kicks. We get it, but you had the Crime Life on there, and a song that Jay-Z actually never released unless you got this soundtrack, People's Court, one of his dopest songs on there. And he was supposed to put it on volume 3, and it got leaked early because my early bootleg copy had the extended version of Come and Get Me. It had the original version of Is That Your Bitch before it went over to Bleak's album. And it had no Memphis Bleak on it, which it was a better song. And I'm sorry. I know y'all hate me for it, but
I don't hate you. I'm just saying.
Say what you say. He's an all right artist.
He's okay. I've been saying that for years. People thought I'm
Yeah,
hating on Bleak. I'm like, he's okay. He's not
yeah,
great.
he's okay. He's not the best, but he came under Jay's shadow. It's hard to get
He's
out
still
of
there.
that.
He's still in the shadow.
Yeah, yeah, and he's in his will somewhere. So Bleak, you're all taken care of. So, but that was supposed to be on that album, and that People's Court was on there as
and
well.
the Snoopy track, he was telling me about that too.
Yes, the Snoopy track had the original Juvenile verse, because I guess originally that was supposed to be an entire Juvenile song.
Right.
So what Jay ended up doing was keeping the hook and having he had a verse on there. Juvie had already laid a verse, but it didn't go with the way that Jay was feeling it.
Right.
So he paid him for the hook and paid him because he removed the verse out of there. But I had the original Snoopy track as well, which he came in the middle. And it was, I thought it was, I mean, Juvenile at that time was still on his, 400-degree run. You know what I'm saying? He had that real guerrilla warfare still. Yeah. So, I mean, it was tight, but it didn't, I see what he was saying. It didn't match the flow that Jay was going in.
Right.
Whereas when they redid the remix, Jay kept Juvenile's flow.
Yeah.
So the song still sounded dope.
Yeah.
But on this one, it was Juvie's flow, fast, slow, and you just got Jay-Z riding the beat, and it didn't go together. So, but he kept the hook.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I wish I still had that bootleg version because I thought that was actually the better album than what he put out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sure. But any other honorable mentions before we head out? Oh, Kenny.
Okay, well, read Kenny's comment.
Yes. Bleak is the C class rapper and Jim Jones the D class. I totally agree.
Jim Jones got more hits than Bleak, though. I'll listen to Jim right now. He got more hits than Bleak. You know what I'm saying?
Off of what?
Ballin', Wrecking Tom, Summer in Miami. He got Jim got hits compared to Bleak. Bleak got like maybe 2 or 3 hits because of Jay, you know what I'm saying? But Jim became his own artist and got away from the Cam. When him and Cam was beefing and they had that fallout, and we didn't know what happened with Dipset. They were on hiatus, and Jim started Bird Game with Stack Reynolds, rest in peace, and Mel Matrix, and you know what I'm saying, and they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? Max B was a part of that as well.
I'd rather listen to Bleak.
I hear you.
I think Bleak.
If they have to do a versus right now, Jim Jones is waxing him.
No.
Jim Jones is waxing him by himself. No. He not calling in Cam like Cam and Jewels come save me. He waxing him by himself. Bleak got to call in Jay. You know what I'm saying? That podcast he got is because of Jay-Z. We all know that. The Duce Liquor, that's all because of Jay.
All right, you know what? I gotta agree with you.
I like Bleak. I like Bleak.
Yeah, too. I know, because you were vouching for his new album.
I'm being a realist here. Like, remember, Jim was not offered a Rockefeller deal. They gave that to Cam and to Jewels. And he had to go off to Koch Records, and he became an executive over at Warner Brothers at one point. He had like 3 or 4 different deals, just being putting out the mixtapes with DJ Drama, putting out his own stuff. He ain't depend on Cam like Bleak did. Bleak. He had to get his boss on his album so that it can sell a couple units.
Yeah, I know. And I don't care what Bleak says. Jay Ghost wrote a lot of
course he did. Of course
I don't care what Bleak says.
Of course he did.
He finally just admitted that Jay-Z wrote Myth Bleak is. He just finally admitted it.
See? Is that your, and remember, that wasn't supposed to be a single. He hated that song.
Yeah.
He hated that song. And Jay told him, yo, put that out. So his beats, put that out.
And that's what got him really popping.
Right.
Yes, DJ Superfly did make Try's list. Yes. That was his number. I think that was your number 10 pick.
That was my number 10, yep.
Yeah.
Made the cut.
And mine wasn't really in any particular order except for the last 5, really. Belly almost made my list, but going back to it and listening to it, I really only like 4 songs
Well,
on it.
we could do a part two. Cause I missed a lot. Soul
Well,
Food soundtrack,
see,
Belly.
I think the next one I want to do is
Uh,
actual songs, like just the iconic song
yeah.
that you felt was iconic on a soundtrack,
Okay.
because then it opens up the variety.
Yeah.
Whereas trying to pick out an entire
Right. The whole
album, because
soundtrack. Right.
I was talking to DJ at work earlier when I
Mm.
was telling him what we were doing, and again, like perfect example right here, Adam's Family.
That was a hit.
Hammer,
That was a hit song.
that was a dope hit.
Yes.
But the rest of the soundtrack,
Right. That's the thing. Yeah.
do you remember even one song on
One
it?
song. Yeah. I'm not gonna put a soundtrack on there for just one hit. One hit record.
So for us, we had talked about maybe just doing like a song off of that doesn't really get, and we also wanted to do one that was like a score.
Right.
So like what was your favorite score in a movie, and so that's something that we wanted to do as well. But this one was like, it had to have almost that classic touch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where not every song is dope, but a majority of them is hard to skip. And like I said, I mean, even listening to Footloose, even the girl songs are hard to skip.
Right.
It's a dope, solid soundtrack. So a perfect example. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Belly the movie was my shit, Sam. But as far as like, besides the joint with Method Man and Nas and all that, Here Comes the Boom, and is that the one that had?
That's the one with Sean Paul.
Yes, Here Comes the Boom. And then you had What the Bum Bum. That was dope too. I forgot the name. I forgot the name of her, that artist.
Sister Nancy.
I forgot the name. So yeah, I guess we can go with that one. Let me look it up real quick, because I know Belly had, I think, maybe one more banger.
The Tommy's theme, the Locks and Benzino. That was like one of the singles. That was fire.
You talking about the Made Men joint?
Yeah, the Made Men. I said, well, Benzino part of Made Men.
Oh yeah, he was.
You had the grand finale.
You know what's funny? Do you want to know what's really funny?
Yeah.
Is in Massachusetts, where I'm from, we made fun of them. We didn't like Made Men.
Wow.
Yeah, we just like that one song because of the Locks.
Right.
And I'll say that right to Benzino's face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we made trash music. We know that. That's nothing new.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. You know what? Let me take that back, because you're gonna take this back too, Tribe.
What's that?
True Love. I forgot that was on there. Devil's Pie. That was dope. D'Angelo. Shout out R.I.P. D'Angelo.
That's supposed to be with Cannabis, and he, like an idiot, he turned down the beat.
Yeah, like a fucking idiot. Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Yes.
M.O.P. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Grand Finale.
Yes. There's a video for that.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's fire.
Pre-game. That's the one I'm thinking
Sauce
of.
Money and Jay.
Yes. Tommy's theme is the one you're thinking of.
Made Men and Locks.
And that does not have the locks on it. It's just Made Men.
Oh, well, the video version has the locks on there, so that's interesting. I like the locks version better than. I didn't know there was two versions, bro.
This one just says Made Men. It doesn't say.
Wu-Tang is on there. Windpipe.
Yep, Windpipe. Story to Tell. That the version that's on the Belly one is I actually like better than the one that's on his Vini Vini Vici album.
Okay.
It's a little different. The beat is a little, so when in the middle, the pianos hit harder on the Belly soundtrack than they do on his Vini Vini Vici album.
Wow.
But yeah, I did forget. Okay, that actually is a pretty good. That would make an honorable mention for me.
Yes.
That's actually a pretty good. I forgot. And I still have the Belly soundtrack as well.
Dope.
Yeah, no, I wasn't feeling that song. No Way In, No Way Out. That R. Kelly song was corny. Yeah, no, okay, you're right. This one has the locks. Yeah, you're right. Tommy's theme did have the locks. Yep. All right. Yeah, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-game was my shit though.
Yeah,
Sauce
yes,
Money tore that shit up.
definitely.
Oh my god. I think he got Jay by like that
Yeah,
much.
Primo, the
Some
Primo beat.
people, I'm not afraid to admit it.
Mm-hmm. Oh
My
yeah,
favorite
Jay. I mean,
rappers,
Jay.
I'm not afraid
Jay
to admit
got
it.
outshined on a couple of his songs. You know, the
Yeah.
Renegade, Eminem outshined him
Now,
to me.
I forgot Crew Love was on here. This is
Is
Crew
that the
Love.
one? That's the one. That's the
Beanie,
one. Who was
Memphis
on there?
Bleak. Beanie and Memphis Bleak.
Okay, now that was on. There was a bonus disc on Volume 2 when they first came out, and they had like bonus tracks, and that was part. That was one of the bonus tracks on the
Yes.
bonus disc.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? You know whose name I don't see as writing?
Who's that?
Bleak.
Of course.
So I bet you he wrote that fucking verse for him
Of course he
too.
did, yeah.
I bet you.
Yeah.
I see S. Carter,
Mm-hmm.
K. Young.
Mm-hmm.
That's who wrote it.
Somewhere it should be Malik something. Nope, no Malik on it. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
So he probably wrote most of that verse.
Right.
Man, all right. You know what, DJ?
Yeah.
You got that one. You got that one. I'll give you that, DJ. Because I you know what? I should have revisited that one because all I was thinking in my head was "Here Comes the Boom" and
Oh man.
I should have revisited that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the next one we ought to do is that one. Focus more on like the song that made you love,
Yeah.
you know, the movie that
yeah.
made you fall in love with it because that just opens up that variety
Yeah.
of because I mean there are many where I just love the one song or maybe two, and then the rest of the soundtrack is
like I mean it could be a more versatile list because they're all like rock bands that did songs from soundtracks that I like. You know, the Nickelback song from Spider-Man, I do like that one, and you know, Linkin Park from the Transformers movie.
There's a couple of movies, DJ, called Drive. I want to say you're thinking of the one with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
yes, and that does have a fantastic score. Do you know? I think his dialogue altogether was only like 3 pages.
Wow,
because he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk much. Drive.
That's crazy.
Where he just drives. He's a driver. Yeah. He drives around, and you know he's got the scorpion coat on.
Yeah.
But if that is the one that you're talking about, yes, it does have a fantastic score.
That was good.
Yeah, Sam, I was wrong. Belly definitely tore it up. Yeah. I'm not gonna. Yeah, the Gosling one. So yeah, that did have a beautiful. Because there is another movie called Drive, but that one has. It's about what's his name with the DeLorean dude. It's his story.
Christopher Lloyd.
No. The actual car owner.
Oh, the actual car.
DeLorean.
Oh, okay.
The movie's called Drive, and it has the guy from Where the Millers. I always forget his name, but it's his story on how he got involved with the whole cocaine thing.
Wow.
And it's called Drive. It's actually a really good movie.
I gotta see that.
Really good.
Okay.
The best ever score, Shaft.
Yes.
Okay. You know what? For me, the best score, I would have to say Star Wars.
Shaft.
If we're talking score, if we're just talking instrumental.
I'm gonna give you one that nobody mentions. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I have that on vinyl. The score for that, phenomenal.
It's been a long time since I heard. Since I
like when you hear like the score for that, I just immediately think of the movie.
Halloween being another one. Yes. That's iconic.
Yes.
Exorcist,
I mean, the Exorcist score. I love that one too.
But so the general march there on Star Wars, that's just iconic. I forgot the name of it, and Todd, you're gonna kill me, I know, but you know, I just watch the movies, Todd. I don't read the comic books too.
Right.
But oh my God, you know what popped up because I typed in Belly 2. That shit was so bad.
God. The game? Nah.
Yes. Okay. Oh, I wanted to slap them for doing that shit.
I didn't like that one.
Oh, me neither. But anyways, man, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Is there anything you want to add in? Subscribe to the channel, please. We are up to 23 subscribers on the podcast, and we love doing this. We are
We
having
gotta
fun
bump
doing
those
this.
subs up, man. We should be at 1,000 already. You know what I'm saying? We gotta bump the subs up.
See, even
Belly
I even
Dance
got
channel.
Kenny Mack over here. Yo,
That's
that
not
shit.
even the. It was like the unofficial sequel, like because he knew he couldn't get that green.
Yeah, he knew he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Stranger Things does
Same
have
thing
a
is good.
really
Yeah.
I
love
love the
that.
score on that,
Yeah.
and yes, The Exorcist.
Yes.
That's iconic.
Mhm.
There are certain movies and scores that you can automatically put together when you hear it in a store or something. You just
Right.
automatically your brain connects it to that movie,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about iconic scores is that
Right.
you just know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember when Master P came out with Hootie Hoo, trash
Mhm.
song, but god damn the beat,
Mhm.
it's Halloween.
Right.
Doom, doom, you know, it's but sped up. It's so dope.
Mhm.
Can't help it.
Right.
100%.
Yes.
But anyways, man, I'm telling you, if y'all not subscribed to me and my boy over here is That Ain't Rap podcast, you're missing out on a lot of lives, man.
Yeah.
This man damn near goes live every night,
Right.
and he has some iconic conversations with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And again, I really appreciate y'all checking out my last two videos. Everybody loved the Street Sharks
That was
one.
dope. Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to get a lot of love and addiction, and that's starting to get some love too. So,
Yes.
next couple of ones, I have two that are coming up. I just got done working on the script for Bars for Styles P.
Okay.
That one is going to be very iconic because I love Styles P, favorite out of the locks and one of my top MCs, period.
Yeah.
And I do have my favorite villain entrances in movies.
Okay.
So we're gonna be having some fun with that.
Nice.
Anything you want to add before we head out of here?
Well, shout out to I'm gonna go shout out to Ray Lansky. Shout out to Ray Lansky from Jersey. He had a
Yes.
phenomenal movie screening last week. I was out there for that. I met Keras One. I met Mad Lion. Do It All from Lords of the Underground, and the documentary, the docuseries. You gotta respect the legends. Docuseries is coming out May 1st on
May 1st.
House TV app. People get that app May 1st. The docuseries is dropping. He has Verse Guards. I saw Verse Guards is a phenomenal documentary. A lot of phenomenal and legendary New Jersey hip hop artists are featured in that. Joe Budden, you got Redman, Rod Digger, you got the Artifacts, Naughty by Nature, Rascas in the Verse Guard series, even though he's not from Jersey, but he's one of the best underrated lyricists, and he's featured in that. You got Smith and Wesson. So shout out to Ray Lansky again, and it was fun. That's one of the best moments of my life, and I'm glad I was able to be out there for that. And he's gonna have other events out there that I'll be attending. So he won't be the last that I'll be out in Jersey, but I just want to give a real shout out to him, and shout out to Mark as well.
Yes, I was going to give a shout out to Ray as well. He's been pumping out the promotions. We had him on the podcast.
Yes.
He was one of our very first guests when we collided together. Yeah. So we appreciated him for that. Just I've been reposting everything, and Nash, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to catch it in the theaters, but if Try ends up going to see it in the theaters, I know he'll be doing a live on it because
I'm going. They have a Michael pop-up event in the city right now. I'm going to that tomorrow, and I will be taking photos and videos of everything that they have at the pop-up event, and I definitely plan on going to see the Michael movie.
Yes. Nash, I already know you follow Try. So you should subscribe to my channel too, Movie AV Impulse, and subscribe to this one because we're going live.
We gotta get the followers up, man.
Yes, man.
Best show on Friday nights. Come on.
Yeah, man. We are trying to make this where everybody can speak their mind because we're gonna two voices, no filters. That's just the way it is. Right. And I'll admit when I'm wrong, because again, I didn't put that belly on my list, and I forgot how many bangers are on there. So, definitely. Yes. Okay.
Ransom is great. Ransom is great.
Ransom is great, but if you want my honest opinion, I will always pick Joe Buttons over Ransom.
And Joe is in the documentary as well. Shout out to Joe
Yes,
Budden.
yes. Shout out to Joe Buttons. But Joe Buttons, I just think that his mixtapes, his run, his ability to just flow. Some of the shit he comes up with just goes over people's heads, and I mean, he's iconic. I would take
Ransom,
him.
Ransom to me is putting out some of the best music
Yes,
now. He did an
now
album
he is.
last year with Conductor Williams. He did an album last year with Young Chris from State Property. He put out another album last year um Dave East. That was great. Final Call, one of the best hip hop releases of last year. And he has a new album out now with Boldy James and Nicholas Craven. That's is dope. So he's putting out some of the best music right now.
Yeah, and he has definitely gotten a lot better. I'm not saying that I never thought Ransom was whack.
Right.
But unfortunately, when him and Joe Buttons were going at it, I just felt like Joe got him. Joe got him. In every mood music, there's not a mood music 1 through 4 that I don't enjoy and I don't like. But I think he's the king of New Jersey. And Redman is obviously he's beyond the king. He's the god to me.
And Tretch, highly underrated.
And Tretch, yes, highly underrated. Anytime anybody could show me a verse as dope as the beginning of Yoke the Joker, you let me know. Right. You let me know. And if you never heard the song, go listen to it. Yes. Please. The second you hear somebody rhyming like that back in that day, you let me know who's the king, who's the king of Jersey.
Oh yeah. I agree.
But anyways, we are going to head out of here. We mentioned Latifah too in here, King. Latifah was on her, especially on these soundtracks.
The queen of Jersey. That's the queen of Jersey.
Yes, she was fire. Yeah. She moved on to movies and TV shows, and definitely still one of the most beautiful women out there. Takes care of herself. Never has a ton of makeup on. Right. I mean, even my wife thinks she's gorgeous. You know what I mean? She's never let her weight bother her. Right. She's just an amazing, beautiful woman. So shout out to Latifah all day long. But anyways, we are going to head out of here. Subscribe to everybody. Give this a thumbs up. And again, take a bunch of pictures, man. I want to see them like
videos, pics, all that. That's going to be once in a lifetime. So I definitely got to.
Yes, I would love to go to that. And me and my wife are trying to go to the Titanic. They're bringing the Titanic thing to Charlotte.
Oh, wow.
Like a whole event. So, and they even have a simulation of how cold the water was.
Wow.
So you can actually like dip your hand and feel how cold it was. But they're doing this huge Titanic exhibit, and it's only going to be for a weekend out here.
That's crazy.
In North Carolina. So,
but we know how cold it was because we saw Leo go down in the water.
But I mean, like
he went down.
Yeah.
Off of the little door that he was holding on to.
Yes, great singer. And shout out to, you know what? I loved Queen Latifah's Beauty Shop. I love that movie.
That was dope. Yeah.
I don't get a lot of love, but I like that movie. She does her thing as an actress. Set It Off. Oh, my God.
Great.
Chef's kiss.
That was
Chef's kiss. But anyways, we're really going to be out of here. But much love to y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.